Hi and welcome to day 8. Now we're going to be doing something a little bit different today. What I've done is I've put together a 30-minute video highlighting all the main areas that we've covered over the last 7 days. And I think it's important for us to take a moment, step back and revise, refresh, and maybe there's some information there that you may have missed in the first session of the video, so this gives us an opportunity to catch up on some of that. And I also think if I keep adding new material each day, it will slow you down with your practice. So maybe it's a thing that after every 7 days we do a revision day and make sure that we've really absorbed all the information that's been put out on the videos. In the description link, I've got a download of some new chords that we will be going through. So have a look at them, download them and have a look at them and see if you can play some of them, and we'll start putting them all together tomorrow. Holding our ukulele is first and foremost. So tucking it under our arm is what we have to do if we don't have a strap. Now I suggest you get yourself a strap if you can. Any ukulele store will be able to help you with the strap and possibly install it for you, or at least show you how to do that. The name and a number of your strings, your fingers and your frets. So let's have a look at our strings. The one closest to the floor is string number 1, or A, known as A as well. String number 2 is the one directly above it, or E. String number 3 above that, C, and the one closest to my chin is G. So from the 4th string down to the 1st, G, C, E, A, or 4, 3, 2, 1. It's important to remember these things here because that's how we communicate through numbers and letters. Our frets are also numbered. These little metal pieces here, they're our fret wire. And so that's number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, and so on. Now when we place our fingers down on our frets, we actually place them behind the fret wire and on the fretboard itself, not actually on the piece or the metal fret itself. So they're numbered, and also the fingers on our chord hand. So we have our thumb, which is a very integral part of playing. We'll get to that in a minute. Index finger number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4. So thumb, 1, 2, 3, 4. Frets, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. Strings, from the one closest to the floor, 1, 2, 3, 4, or A, E, C, G. Oh, that's right, our thumb. Very important when we place our fingers on our neck. We have to place it behind the neck. It's important that we do that because our thumb helps us squeeze our fingers up against the string. And when we place our fingers on the fret, on the string, we want to try our best to use our fingertips. Our fingertips gives us really good posture, keeping our knuckles up high, which allows them to stay out of the way of the other strings. And it also helps create a really nice sound. And that's why we have them, the strings named, because that's the name of the pitch you have to use a tuner to tune your string to. And the best way to do that is by using a clip-on tuner. Or you could use one where you plug a cable into, but these really are fantastic. It was a game changer when they first came out. Now it's got a little display on the tuner, and as you hit the tuner, or the string, sorry, the display should go to the center of the screen. And if it does, that's in tune. Now they also use colors. Now blue indicates, I'll just have a quick look, indicates that I'm in the center of the G pitch. So I'm happy with that. Next one is C, third string. Okay, let's just pause for a minute. Notice how strings C and E are not quite in the centre of the tuner. To fix this, you have to turn the tuner peg attached to the string to either tighten or loosen the string until it is at the correct pitch. Tightening the string makes the pitch go higher and loosening it makes the pitch go lower. Can't really see it. Yep, happy with that. That's in tune as well. The next one is E. Looking pretty good from here. And the first string is A. So a clip-on tuner, get yourself one. They are fantastic. Alright, let's get into learning how to strum. Now we're just going to hold our ukulele neck and we're going to have open strings. And we're just going to start with this downstroke strum. Now I'm going to use my finger. I'm going to actually combine using my finger and my thumb sometimes. So here's your options. You can use your thumb. You can use your first finger, which is what I like using a lot. You can use your thumb for your downstroke and your finger for your upstroke. Down, up, down, up. Or you can use a plectrum. But let's have a look a little closer as to what the strumming stroke really is. For me, I like to glide, make sure I'm gliding nice and evenly across all the strings. And like I said, we start with a downstroke. I don't like to strum too hard because it's all about initially just trying to get the mechanics of strumming. Making sure we're going through all the strings on both our down and our upstroke. We don't want to get caught up in the strings and creating that sort of sound or action. It's just a nice gentle glide across the strings. So if I were to say 10 out of 10 and 10 being the hardest and 1 being the softest, try going for 5 out of 10. Down, up, down, up, or thumb, down, up, down, up, or thumb and finger. Nice and easy strokes across all the strings. This is what I call level 1 strumming. And this is a really good speed too, the tempo of our strumming. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. How to strum your ukulele, level 1. Now a chord diagram is going to be showing your ukulele, representing your ukulele as if it were upright like this. So this part here is the nut and you'll notice a thick line on the diagram itself, and then each string is represented by the vertical lines and each fret is represented by the horizontal lines. So if I were to turn my ukulele upright, let's say we put it in position first, and the string closest to the floor is string number 1, and this string closest to my chin is string number 4. So let's now have it sitting up like the chord diagram. So let's go through and have a look at each string. Now we'll start with this one, the one closest to the floor, a string number 1, or A. The one beside that, string number 2, E, and the one beside that, string number 3, or C, and the one beside that on the outside is G, string number 4. Now on the diagram you will see a dot with a number on it. Now the dot shows us where to place our finger, and the number tells us which finger to use. So we're going to have a look at a C chord. Now for the C chord we use finger number 3. So we've got our thumb, index is number 1, number 2 and number 3. So use number 3 finger, and we're going to place it on the 3rd fret. 1, 2, 3. And remember, we place it behind the fret and actually press down on the fretboard. Now when you place your finger down, please try and use your fingertips. That way we can create a really good habit right from the beginning. So we place our fingertips on the 3rd fret of the 1st string, string number 1, closest to the floor, using our 3rd finger. We have our thumb behind the neck supporting our fingers, and that helps us press down on the strings. And then we can strum, just a nice, easy, soft strum across all the strings using a downstroke. That's our C chord. Okay, our next chord we're going to look at is A minor. A minor, we need to use our 2nd finger only, and we place it on the 2nd fret of the 4th string. So fret number 1, number 2, just behind the wire, the fret wire, and our 2nd finger on the 4th string. That's A minor. Let's have a look at that. And a nice easy downstroke strum. A minor. Now I don't know if you heard the first time I attempted that strum, but my finger, this fleshy part, just hit the string underneath it and it stopped it from ringing. That's why we want to try and get used to using our fingertips. It helps get those parts out of the road. That's better, we can hear that. A minor. Our next chord is F. So we're going to use 2 fingers for this. So if you keep your A minor shape, 2nd finger on the 4th string, 2nd finger, 4th string of the 2nd fret, then we place our 1st finger down on the 2nd string of the 1st fret. 1st finger, so string number 1 close to the floor, go up to string number 2 and place it on fret number 1. So that's the position of our 2 fingers to play our F chord. Nice. Well done. Just a note, please don't worry too much if your chord isn't sounding that great at the moment. It will get better. So if it's sounding like this, don't worry too much about it. The most important thing we want to concentrate on is making sure that we get our fingers in the right positions. And the strength of being able to press down and hold your fingers upright will certainly happen over the next few days. And we're going to get to enjoy practicing together, and I'll be able to help you with that over the next few days ahead. So don't worry too much about the sound. It's all about the placement and getting used to being able to play the shape and strumming. Okay, our fourth and final chord for today is not an easy one. We need to use 3 fingers. And so what we're going to do is we're going to keep our F shape, our 2 fingers down. Now our first finger is going to stay where it is. It's on the 2nd string of the 1st fret with our first finger. And with our 2nd finger, we're going to keep it on fret 2, but we need to bring it down 1 string. So instead of it being on string number 4, the one closest to our chin, we need to move it down to string number 3, the one directly below string number 4. So that's 2 fingers in the equation. We need to place our 3rd one on the 1st string closest to the floor of the 2nd fret. Now it's a bit of a squashy chord shape, this, which makes it a little bit difficult for beginners. But what we're going to do is we're going to turn the palm of our hand away from the actual ukulele neck, keeping our 2 fingers in place here, and that will give us a little bit more room to put our 3rd finger on the 1st string of the 2nd fret. Okay, so F, G7, bring my 2nd finger down, keeping my 1st finger where it is, turning my hand slightly, placing my 3rd finger on the 1st string of the 2nd fret, and we'll give it a downstroke strum. That's a G7. Then we're going to go back to C. Finger number 3, 3rd fret, string number 1. Alright, now what we want to do is we want to play 2 bars of C, and without stopping, we want to play 2 bars of A minor. I'll count us in. 1, 2, 3, 4, C, 2 bars, 1, 2, 3, 4, and again, 1, 2, 3, A minor, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and again, 1, 2, 3, 4, and stop. F chord, 1st finger, 1st fret, 2nd string. 2nd finger, 2nd fret, 4th string. And let's do 1 strum down. Very good. Don't forget to use your fingertips as well, very important. Your fingertips, keep the fleshy part of your fingers out of the way of the other strings that are below it. And that's how you can get a nice, clean, clear sound, which ultimately is what we're after. F. Now let's have a look at G7. Finger number 3, fret number 2, string number 1. And the next finger we want to place down is our 1st finger, which is 1st fret, 2nd string, finger number 1. And our 2nd finger goes up on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string. Try strumming. Yeah, pretty happy with that. But one of the reasons, well, there's a couple of reasons why. My thumb is working pretty hard to help my fingers press down on the strings. My fingertips are doing a great job. They're ensuring that my fingers are nice and high out of the road. They're not lying across the strings. They're actually right up high, out of the way. And I remember the palm of my hand away from the neck so that I can get my fingers on all those strings comfortably. Now that doesn't feel too bad. Play me an F chord. 1 strum. Play me a G7 chord. 1 strum. Back to F. 1 strum. back to G7, now back to F. Now here's what you're going to develop and work toward. Here's your goal ultimately. You want to be able to place your fingers down at the same time. F, so now let's try and put a strum to our F and G7. One, two, three, four. F. 2 bars of F. 2, 3, to a G7. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 bars of G7. 1, 2, 3, 4. Back to F. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. G7. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. F. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. G7. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And stop there. So today we have 4 chords: C, A minor, F and G7. And our goal today is to be able to play each of those chords and make nice and smooth transitions from one to the other. And while we're doing that, making sure that we keep a nice steady strumming pattern throughout the whole exercise. Okay, are you ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 bars of each. 1, 2, 3, 4. And again. 2, 3. A minor. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And again. 1, 2, 3, 4. To an F. 1, 2, 3, 4. And again. 1, 2, 3. G7. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And back to C. 2, 3, 4, and stop. And today I would like us to spend a little bit more time on strumming. I'm finding that for myself, when I'm going through my practice, my strumming's very sloppy and very inconsistent. So we're going to put a little bit more work into our strumming by adding an extra beat in the strumming pattern that we've got at the moment. So currently we are strumming 4 beats to our bar. Now my fingers represent the beats, and each beat in there at the moment are known as a quarter beat. So 1, 2, 3, 4. What we want to do is we want to play a strum here, and then one in between, another one here, in between, another one here, in between, another one here, and one on the other side of that. So instead of us counting 1, 2, 3, 4, we want to count 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So what we're going to do is we're going to play just a C chord, and we're going to play a handful of bars with now playing 8th notes. So down, up, and so on. Okay, you ready? We give it a try? I'll count us in and then you can join me, and then we'll all do it together. Are you ready? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and again. time. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Yeah, look, it's a great exercise for you to work on, so grab your metronome and practice that for a few bars. You will notice an improvement with the rhythm of your strumming hand, the quality of your sound, and certainly you'll get better at keeping in time. So there we have it. That's a warm-up exercise for us for our strumming. So I really hope you're enjoying this journey. You'll learn how to play the ukulele left-handed. We're on day 8, and I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow. So till then, keep smiling, keep practicing, and please keep in touch. Let me know if there's any questions you have and just send me a message.